guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you do happen to be new here, I'm Faith. Before we get started with today's video, really quick, any other fun bingeable content will be somewhere up here. Everything that you need to know, plus extras, plus social media links, plus affiliate links, plus my website, faithingandellis.com. All of that is going to be in the description box, not subscription box, description box. But if you would do me a huge favor and subscribe, like, comment, share, any kind of engagement really helps us to grow so that I can continue doing super fun things like this. Now, grab your snack. I've got some delicious lemon white chocolate cookies from Aldi's that I bought. I'm so excited to try. Grab your drink. I am drinking Yellowtail's Pinot today. Got me a good hefty glass because we're gonna need it. We are doing a drinking challenge, dating fails drinking challenge. So let's get into it. All right, so just to go over the rules a little bit, here's kind of what I got going on. Every time we're gonna read through some of the worst dates we've ever been on, and we have some goals to hit. So first off, if you have any dating fails or any dating success stories, you're more than welcome to share those at faith.ingan101@yahoo.com. Put in the subject dating fails so that I do not throw it away. I will share those in our segments online. I will keep you anonymous unless you say otherwise. Now, our rules for today as we go through and read these dating fails. So, I don't know if y'all can actually see this on camera, if the date mentions Tinder, we're drinking a sip. This says a shot, but it's actually a sip. If they ask the person to pay for the date or to split it, we're taking 2 sips. So if a guy asks a girl out and he's like, dude, aren't you gonna pay? And then if their first date happens to be at a bar, we're taking 3 sips. Now, if we do get to a date where he or she ends up stalking them, we're downing all of whatever is left in our glass and we're ending it right there. All right, guys, let's get started. All right, so the first date says, got a hair stuck in my nail, hold on. Y'all see those bling blings? The first date says, the guy seemed nice enough. We chatted online for several weeks and decided to meet at a local bar. Local bar, that's 3 steps. Hold on. Local bar and hang out. Okay. Everything was fine, or so I thought. We were talking about parenting. He said he has kids. Wow, that's a typo. His kids. He has kids, still hadn't forgiven me. Whoa, hold on. Y'all can't do this, especially when I'm drinking. He said he has kids, still hadn't forgiven him for the dog incident years ago. So she must mean he said his kids still hadn't forgiven him for the dog incident years ago. What dog incident? Well, he had left some important government documents out in the dining room. The puppy had found them and had fun with them. When he got home and saw the papers were destroyed, he took the dog out back and beat it over the head with an iron bar until it died. He told me this quite casually. I sat there glued to the bar stool with a fake kind of expression on my face, not able to move or speak or do anything but experience absolute horror. He chuckled and said the kids were still pissed off about it. I was actually afraid for my own life at that point. I excused myself and went to the bathroom trying to figure out how I could run. When I came out, he was watching the door like a hawk and smiling. I sat back down, still unable to speak. He tried to kiss me. I faked coughing. I said I had to pop out for some air. He followed me, tried to kiss me again, pushing me up against the wall. I can express how absolutely terrified and horrified I was. I said that we should go back inside. He continued to tell me stories, and I was just internally panicking the whole time. Eventually, finally, he went to the bathroom and I bolted. I mean bolted. Like, I ran out of the bar, down the street, around the corner to the parking lot, full blast. Drove home, breaking every speed limit, bolted my doors, turned off the lights, and went through all the online chats, deleted everything, and blocked him. I'm still haunted by that one. I feel like somebody should have called the police. God. So, mine is a little long, so here it goes. Met this girl online, thought she was cute in the pics, and we chatted for like a day or two online before we decided to meet up for dinner and a movie. Well, when we met, she looked drastically different from her picture, like a lot heavier than what she looked like in her profile. But I decided to give her a chance anyway, and we went out to dinner. As we walked into a local pub, that's a bar, she was very rude to the hostess and judgmental to the rest of the women she saw there. She kept saying snide, nasty comments like, look at her, she looks so whorish in that, or ew, look at her, she's so ugly. That was red flag number 1. Yeah, definitely. Then, as we were seated, she proceeded to berate the waitress, talk down to her, and be very demanding. Red flag number 2. So after dinner, I paid and apologized to the waitress and gave her a good tip. We went on a walk around the downtown before going to buy our movie tickets. As we were walking, she kept talking about how if I want to have a chance with her, I need to spoil her by buying her things and treating her like the princess she is. Red flag number 3. Then she proceeded to talk about wanting to own a lifted pink Hummer with the words Puerto Rican princess on the side and say that we can cuddle at her house. Also, while saying that, she said, oh, I also have a boyfriend, so you are just going to come when I want and take me out. After that, I just said, okay, I am done. First of all, you are too vapid and rude for me to put up with. You also have a boyfriend and said you're single. No, I'm leaving. As I walked away, she screamed, you don't know what you're missing, and a bunch of explicits. Wow. That was not on my list, but that should have been on my list. Like, what? This reminds me, okay, don't think I'm awful, but this reminds me of the Family Guy episode where Chris takes out the girl who has Down syndrome, and she's actually really, really mean and wants him to like pamper her. I'm just like, do guys actually think this is cute? This isn't cute. First of all, I'm not one for women ditching anybody, but especially ditching other women. What are y'all doing? Whatever. Okay, I'm glad he stood up for himself and said right then and there. Yeah. All right, so this one says, I have so many. Let's start with the guy I met online. We texted and talked for a few weeks and decided to meet for coffee. He shows up and is dropped off by a friend, and he has a suitcase. I asked him if he was traveling somewhere. He says, to your place. I said no, and he goes on to explain to me that he must stay with me because he told his roommate he could have the apartment for the weekend, so he really didn't have anywhere else to go. Now think about this. This is our first meeting. He shows up with a suitcase packed and ready to move in with me. He just assumed he was so irresistible that I was going to take him home immediately and let him stay with me. I noped right out of there before I even had a half a cup of coffee. He has the nerve to follow me outside and ask if I can at least save him cab fare and take him to his ex's house. All right, I'm not going to count that as a stalking. He just followed her outside. I'm looking for he like stalked somebody. Wow, that's crazy. All right, so this one says, it's not been my date, but still the worst. My best friend met someone online. As they wanted to meet, they arranged to go to the cinema. Yo, check your spelling. My friend asked me to come with her just to be nearby. Well, just in case. I was in the cafe across the street. She waited in front of the cinema, but he didn't show. So she went in. As he didn't answer the phone, she thought maybe he's inside and turned his phone off. Followed her in because I couldn't see her with anybody. She bought one ticket and went in. I bought another one and sat 2 rows behind her because I still wasn't sure if he'd show up. I watched her cry the entire movie and still don't know why I just didn't sit next to her. And they said sat next to her. It should be sit. Y'all, spell. That is sad. Why wouldn't you go sit next to your friend? All right, I had been talking to this guy for a few weeks, but we'd never gone out. One Sunday morning, I got a message that said, want to meet me at pub local to him to watch the game? Our teams were playing each other. I said, sure. Got ready, drove 45 minutes, paid $10 to park, squished into the tiniest, most crowded bar. Those were long ones. Ha! On the planet, spotted the guy, made my way over, discovered he hadn't bothered to save me a seat, didn't offer me his, but the guy next to him claimed he was leaving. I saw him at halftime. At this point, I wondered why I bothered. I ordered a drink. The bartender gave us menus. The guy said, order whatever you want, which I did. We both did. Food and more drinks. I have a feeling we're gonna be drinking. Things got better. After the game started, we talked a bit, laughed a lot, even ordered dessert. After my team kicked his team's rear, he excused himself to the restroom and said we'd leave when he got back. He never came back. I was left with a $93 bar tab. I later got a message that said there was some emergency, he had to leave quickly, he'd pay me back next time. There was no next time. All right, so what is that? Asked person to pay. Okay, we're still taking 2 sips. He didn't really ask, but yeah. Crazy, y'all. Crazy. Did you have to? All right. My friends forced me onto an online dating site. Read they created a profile for me and picked out matches. I don't know what that means. After a 4-year-long relationship ended, I insisted to get back out there. I went on 3 dates total, all of them horrible. The worst, guy asked me if I can pick him up because his car's in the shop. Okay, no big deal. Crap happens, but he at least gave me enough notice to change plans. I go to pick him up and start to drive to the restaurant where he asks me to pull into a fast food parking lot because he needs to use the restroom. Mind you, this is all of 5 minutes after we've left his apartment. I could see my boyfriend doing that. Okay, strange, but maybe nervous bladder. Special me assumes he's going to go inside like a normal human. Nope. Dude goes to the dumpsters and proceeds to do his business behind one of them. That was enough to make me be done. But nope. It gets better. We love when they get better. Mid-P, cops show up, and not only do they pull out their citation book, they address him by name. I overheard one of the cops say, Joe Blow. Haven't we talked about this before? You can't take care of business in public like this. At this point, I didn't even wait around. I flat out left him in that parking lot, went and bought myself some nice takeout to take home, and spend the night on my couch where I promptly deleted the dating account and planned to pay back on my so-called friends. That's hilarious. Okay, blind date. Did as a favor for a friend. Don't date people as a favor. Do not do it. He showed up with flowers, candy, and a stuffed animal. Aww. Overkill for sure. We went to a nice pizza place and suddenly his entire church group showed up. Yup, he knew they were coming. Worse, they all stood and sang church music to inspire the other diners. After 3 songs, the manager asked them to stop and they all prayed for him, silently. When he took me home, he said, I hope it's okay that I don't kiss you on a first date. You bet it is, sir. You bet it is. Okay. Okay. All right. Nothing as bad as the previous riders. We went out, sat at a park in the North Beach area of San Francisco. He talked about his drug use and how bad his heart was. Did not contribute to any of this conversation. Come to find out he was married, in the process of getting divorced, and didn't know how to tell me. I said that I didn't want any drama and cut it. As y'all can tell, feeling it a little bit because these are making me so excited. I will say I dated my boyfriend while I was still legally married. He was well aware of the situation. He knew there was no reconciliation on my end. So, I mean, you know, before official legal divorce, we dated for almost that entire year. In North Carolina, you have to wait a year before you can officially file in front of a judge and legally divorce. But we dated that basically entire year that I was separated. I met a guy through a dating app, really liked him. He was intelligent, had a good job. He's a doctor and really handsome. We met at a bar. Ooh, y'all, I'm about to be done. Met at a bar. It was nice. We met again a couple times and he invites me home to have a drink when we should go to a restaurant. Yes, typos kill me. When we arrived at his place, we heard a notification from his computer. It was a message from his team from MMORPG, which is, oh gosh, I forgot what that stands for, but it's like it's something like when you play with real people. I can't remember. Y'all know what I mean. Saying that they have a raid this evening. He said he had to play. Then we didn't go to the restaurant, and instead we're on his couch. He was on his couch playing while I was watching TV, waiting for him to stop, but it never ended after a lot of time. So I left and never saw him again. I met someone online and we arranged to meet at a local pub. I think we only have enough for one more, guys. All right, he was already visibly intoxicated when I arrived. He kept pressuring me to do shots, even though I repeatedly and politely declined. He was very odd and kept the conversation about himself. I feigned illness and left. Okay. Well, it wasn't a date exactly, but it's the story of my very first breakup that I didn't end. The boy was cute, smart, nice. He was the same age as me, and we dated for almost 4 months. I cut my hair short, like really short. Then I was riding home on the bus literally the day before we were going to go on a date. He texts me, and this is the conversation from the ex. Hey, me. Hey, listen, we have to talk. I'm getting kind of nervous. So the ex said, just promise me that you won't get upset. Oh, I love when they say that. Me. All right, what's up? I like someone else. Listen, I'm sorry, but I don't like you anymore. And no offense, but you look like a boy with your hair that short. All right. Wow, did you even like me? Why do you care? You're not my boyfriend anymore. All right. See, oh, I met a sales rep from our company when she was visiting our corporate office in San Francisco. We hit it off and had a fantastic weekend together. So she invited me to spend New Year's Eve with her in Chicago. I was born in Chicago, but I hadn't been there since then, so I was really excited to go. I even arranged VIP access to an early NYE show at an improv theater that my father used to belong to there. When I got to Chicago, she acted like she barely knew me and like it was an imposition to have me there. Before my arrival, she had also assured me that she was dialed into the clubs there. But I soon found out that I had to do the dialing when we went out on New Year's Eve. In San Francisco, I never have to wait in lines for clubs and events. That night in Chicago, I had to bribe our way into places. My consolation prize was twofold, however, in that I hooked up with one of her friends at a late night house party we went to, and I discovered Krispy Kreme donuts for the first time at 5 a.m. while they were serving hot donuts. Yes, sir, that is a win. We met for drinks, and I spent 2.5 hours nodding my head and saying, oh, wow, oh, After the first 20 minutes, I just wanted to see how long he would keep talking. I hope you guys had fun. I know I did. And I will catch you guys next time. Bye.